Hi, my name is Mackenzie DeLong, and I'm doing a Proverb speech for Speech 101 class with Rick Thomas. The proverb that I've chosen is when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. This is pretty self-explanatory, but just in case, I'll put it in simpler terms. This basically translates to when tough times occur, the tough people push through and they get what needs to be done, and they don't let it get them down or anything. While the weak people, whether it's because they're just plain out lazy or because it's just too stressful and they can't handle it, cower away and they just deal with what's going on. Tough times, for example, can be many things. It could be money, natural disaster, disease, anything really. It depends on the person and their perspective and what they have been through both in past experiences, which exactly classifies as a tough time for them. Money, for example, can be many things. We all know that money is a huge issue. And for example, if somebody is used to going out to eat 3 or 4 times a week, and then they had a tough time with money and they can't afford to go out as much, then they might classify that as I'm in a tough situation with money right now. While other people, for example, might not be able to eat for a couple of days or something because they don't have enough money to go out and get groceries or anything. Disease, however, can be classified as many things also because there's many different things. This could be anywhere between the flu or cancer. I guess it depends on what exactly the severity of this is. Again, with the money, if you don't have the money for antibiotics or something, then that could be a problem. Or if you have a low immune system, that can definitely be a tough time because it would be very stressful. Cancer, however, if you have the right supplies and you have the money and the supporters to do some chemo and stuff, then it might not be as tough of a time, but depending on what's going on in that person's life, it still might be a tough time for them. Natural disasters. This could be tornadoes, floods, hurricanes, anything. Usually, some of them aren't that bad depending on where you are and what time of the year it is. And they can either just be as low as flooding your house or taking some shingles off the roof, which is easy to fix. But again, back to the whole money thing. If you don't have enough money to get some new shingles or to unflood your basement, then it might be an issue and you might be having some problems. With really big disasters, such as a really big hurricane or a really big tornado or something, and it completely destroys somebody's house, that might be an even bigger issue, especially if they don't have a lot of money, again, to fix it or to stay somewhere. So hopefully there's people to help them because that can be a very tough time. As I said before, it depends on the perspective of something, which exactly depends on a tough time. Everybody sees things differently, and you just need to stay focused and get what needs to be done. There are many ways to push through tough times. For example, religion. If you're very religious, it is always good to know that God is there for you and that He is there to do anything that you need to do, and He's there to push through. So just keep your faith and good things will come out. Also, it's good to remind yourself that during tough times, if you push through and you stay positive in everything, a good, amazing outcome is going to come out of everything that's happening. Everything happens for a reason, and if you just keep reminding yourself that, it might be easier to push through. Surround yourself with positive, uplifting people. It's not good to be around negative people, especially when you're going through a tough time. If you're around negative people, they're going to make you negative yourself, and you're not going to want to keep going on, and you're just going to want to give up and deal with it, just like the weak people. But this is when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So be tough and get going. Stress is unhealthy. You don't want that in your life. And another thing that you can do is make the best out of what you have. Remember that there are people that have less than you, and just make the best of what you have, and everything will happen that is supposed to happen. Be positive and uplifting. So, like I said before, it's pretty self-explanatory when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. It depends on the perspective of the person and past experiences on what exactly is a tough time, and anything can be overcome with some positive reinforcement and some courage and making sure that you're staying focused and getting done what needs to be done. Thank you.